Hi, everybody. I'm Gene Simmons, and you're not. And you are listening to the #1 KISS podcast, Shout It Out Loudcast, with Tom and Zeus. But you knew that. Now get out of here.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is Gene Simmons. Put that cookie down. Stop pressing the button. Stockbroker Simmons. Star? Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting. He's not what you would call a handsome man. Oh, no. Here come the kiss cards. Is that a positive thing? Okay. All right. I'm going to grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them. That's what I'm talking about. 617-525-08. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Yellow. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus, another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 337. Most important non-KISS member.
That's right. Yes, we already talked about members. Now it's non-member. This will be good. There's a lot to choose from here.
Yep. Yeah, Tom, a lot's going on right now these days with KISS. And some of the KISS maniacs out there are a little, they got a little Peter Criss in their pants.
Their Vinnie Vincent underoos are all twisted out of shape.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We will get to that.
Oh, absolutely. But last week, we talked about the Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning and compared it to KISS. And why can't KISS do it? And blah, 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 blah. And it got a lot of feedback.
Ton of feedback everywhere. Yeah. And of course, we did a poll, and we kind of knew where this was going to go, but of course, we had to do it. And the simple poll this week was, which final show was better, KISS or Black Sabbath? Well, Black Sabbath curb stomps KISS on this one, which is really no contest. Black Sabbath, 82%. And 18% of you people just can't take off your KISS panties and vote without being influenced by your love of the band. I mean, come on, give me a break. But anyways, let's get to a couple comments. Our buddy Bobby Kenner, glad you guys covered this great topic. Seeing those videos at the start of the Sabbath event, including people like Jonathan Davis of Korn, had me wondering if Paul or Gene were even asked to record one. You guys nailed it on saying Vegas was like a cruise a long time ago. Yeah, a lot of those videos before, the people that weren't there just doing little speeches. I don't recall seeing anybody from KISS doing that. Buddy Glenn Barth, Sabbath, of course. I truly feel bad for anyone that spent thousands of dollars to go to New York for the final KISS shows. Saw the last Chicago show 5 days earlier. It was exactly the same. We all left confused, sad, and angry, or all of the above. Well, I will say this, Glenn. We talked about this when we did our recap show. Madison Square Garden weekend was fantastic, and it wasn't because of KISS. I'll just tell you that right now. We just had a great weekend with everybody. Party Man, easy one. KISS Farewell was a normal MSG concert with a lot of people missing in the avatars as the surprise to end their careers. Sabbath was a whole day of celebrating their music with almost everyone that has a name in rock and metal, including past and original members. Hall of Famer, our good buddy Nige. The two were direct opposites. People excited by the prospect of the final KISS show, and it was a big disappointment. People worried that the final Sabbath show might be a train wreck due to Ozzy's health, but the event was a big success. Only one winner, and it ain't you, Paul. Twisted Kister, a lot of anti-Sabbites at the polls today. Yep. Vet Halen says, how are 24% voting for KISS? Well, that did go down, but it stayed at 18%.
Jay, just for the record,
yeah,
I usually put a poll up when I do the Instagram post.
Yeah.
Tom has been doing it on
Facebook now, too.
X. Well, I want to say for X.
Oh, sorry.
Since day one.
Yeah.
Now we're putting it on basically our Loudcasters group. And if you're not a member of the Loudcasters group, you should be. That's a private group that we have over 12,000 people on there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
A lot of fun conversation. But it gets a lot more interaction on Facebook, and we've had this conversation. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, is fucking dead. But we're not going to let it go because we have we have some OG Loudcasters on there, so we're going to still use it, but the interaction is all on Facebook, which I cannot believe.
Yeah, I can't either. I think people just like that idea of a private group, whereas just kind of randomly commenting in public. Couple more comments here. Preston Nash says the first difference is the makeup costume factor, possibly. Even so, they could have had Ace and Peter come out and close the show in makeup. The other factor is the Sabbath money went to medical fundraising. Would everyone in KISS get on board for something bigger than themselves? We talked about that last week, and the answer is a resounding no. And let's talk about the episode itself. I know most of the comments are pretty similar regarding that. Aggie Dad and Tiger Grad, no comparison. I watched the Sabbath show in its entirety, and I'm watching thinking how much better this was versus the KISS New York show. Paul and Gene should have hired Tom Morello like Sharon did and let him plan it out. Can you imagine how good if Tom did this for KISS? Well, he loves KISS. He did their speech at the Hall of Fame, but I don't know. David simply says, it doesn't seem to be the end of KISS either. Well, it's not. And RP says the Sabbath show was everything the KISS show should have been. Well, yeah, that's very true. Tons of comments. We'll try to get to as many as we can, but Zeus, for right now, that's Twitter.
Yeah, I'll go over to the Book of Face. And again, tons of feedback, but we're going to try to limit it here.
Yeah.
Way too much here. I cannot stand. Why do I want relevant comments or newest or all? I have to change that every time.
Yeah, you have to change it to all. Yeah, it defaults to relevant. I don't understand how Facebook know. How does Facebook know what's relevant? The fuck?
Just whatever. Like social media sucks. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It does. It blows.
Yeah, there you go. Rex J. Cox. I was not much of a Sabbath fan, but more of an Ozzy solo work. Throughout the week, I watched all 10 hours. Between stage changes, fans and other artists are given the opportunity to send short video praising Black Sabbath and Ozzy. Testimony from fans and love from Judas Priest, Def Leppard, Billy Idol, even Dolly Parton. MVP was Nuno Bettencourt.
I heard that from a lot of people.
Boys.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people praising him.
Fuck off, Nuno.
Dude, you don't like anybody now. You have exponentially become like I don't know if there's anybody you like anymore. I don't know who you like. I don't know anymore.
There's a million country artists. We don't do country that I can talk about.
There's a lot of country music. Enough. Stop.
There's a lot of old classic rock bands we don't talk about on the show.
Okay, great. Stop.
I'm not a fan of Extreme and Wholehearted.
I didn't say you had to be a fan of Extreme, but every single name we bring up. Ow.
Okay, and what are you comparing that to? Because we had that Dorm Damage episode.
Oh, well,
even the listener said that list was horrendous.
Wait, you don't like?
What do you want me to tell you?
Well, you don't like Celtic Frost? Come on.
I mean, you're on my case because I didn't like Septa Tula Pula, whatever the fuck that is.
Wait, hold on. You're bringing that up. I'm talking about Nuno Bettencourt specifically. What's the matter with him? He's a great guitar player.
Wonderful. His band sucks. Extreme is horrible band. And they're a Boston band. It's just bad music. What do you want me to tell you?
God.
Now I'm going to get bombarded with fucking Extreme tards.
Oh yeah. The Gary Sharon, the Sharon tards are going to come out.
Sharon. People blow this guy, Nuno. Okay, great. Is there a good song?
Yeah. There's a lot of good songs.
Yeah. Name one. Fucking, what's that big hit they had? The one, Wholehearted, I know because of Cam Neal.
That terrible ballad, More Than Words, the acoustic ballad. That's terrible. That's a terrible song. It's a terrible song.
If you don't like it, you can get the funk out.
Yeah,
is that their song? Is that
so catchy?
Jesus Christ. I think I might just delete this whole conversation.
Go ahead. That's
a waste of our time.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I might just delete his comment because it had nothing to do with KISS, too.
Fair.
Tom Selleck, I can tell you wholeheartedly, wink, wink, that KISS whiffed huge on their farewell. The Sabbath show was one like I'd never experienced before. By the way, he was there with his lovely wife. Everything about the city, the people, the bands were friendly, exciting, and unified. Everyone was there for one purpose, and that was to celebrate the band and each other. I witnessed firsthand the camaraderie between band members after the show at the hotel bar. I never saw so many smiles on everyone.
Yeah.
Compare that to fucking some of the guests that were at the Kiss show at the end. Oh, am I supposed to come on and talk? Oh, there's a host here. She's going to ask me questions. Oh, we're going to cut it out. We're going to go backstage. Like, remember there was all fucking like, poorly done or.
I mean, no, with all due respect to Chris Angel, who's very talented at what he does, I don't know if we needed to hear about a magician telling us what he thinks of Kiss. I mean, really.
Here's Def Leppard talking about the legacy of Ozzy and stuff. And here we got a magician.
His Christian. Hey, I got a magic trick. I'm going to make all these Kiss fans disappear.
Oh, God.
Fucking awful. Anyways.
Scott Clevenger says the Sabbath farewell is far superior, in my opinion. At least Sabbath could put their personal differences aside to come together one last time. Kiss could never do that. Did they really, though? Half the members of Black Sabbath weren't invited. Right?
Well, yeah, I know. A lot of people said that, but
the original were there, and there's no reason for them to like be mad at Ozzy or anything like that.
No,
those guys don't make any money without Ozzy.
No.
So yeah, I'll sign up.
Well, you don't want the Ian Gillan version of Black Sabbath showing up at that event?
Oh, yes. Where was Eric Singer there, right? Where were the rest of those guys?
Yeah, no, true. Yeah, where's Eric Singer, period? We'll save that for a different conversation.
Doug Bentley, we love getting opposing opinions.
Those are my favorite.
Kiss played a whole show, which was awesome to have seen. But the vibe in New York City, the friends, the pre-party, the gathering of the tribe, that was for us, the fans. Mm-hmm. While a live Kiss My Ass concert would have been cool, that's not a farewell show. We got two really great farewell concerts, not 30 minutes of Paul in a wheelchair doing Love Gun in DRC.
Doug, love you, brother, but you're trying way too hard. You're just trying way too hard.
Okay, I could fucking.
This could be a whole episode right here. But
Kiss played a whole show. Okay. Yeah, because Kiss isn't on their fucking deathbed like Ozzy is, right?
Exactly. Right.
All right. Kiss played a whole show. Yeah, the same show they've been playing for the last 12 years.
Yep.
The same show that if you probably took the vocals out, it's probably the same one you just saw in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, it is.
In Toronto, in Kentucky, whatever they fucking played. It's the same fucking show. Mm-hmm. Okay. But the vibe in New York City, as you said, the pre-party, the gathering tribe, we talk about that all the time. Tom just said not too long ago, it was fantastic, but not because of Kiss.
Not because of Kiss.
The fans did, right? That was organic by the fans. We enjoyed it. The band had nothing to do with that shit.
Right.
While a live Kiss My Ass would have been cool, that's not a farewell show. Who's to tell us what a farewell show is? They did 2 shows in Madison Square Garden. Maybe they do one final show, and then they do the next show, the last show, like this. Ever think of that? No, but they can't think out of the box, and they can't do anything different because they're fucking too lazy, and they don't give a shit. It's the same old because of this.
You know, a lot of people ask why. Why treat the customer this way? Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
And I said this 2 years ago that COVID fucked up Paul's plan. He was so pissed off at COVID because that didn't let him retire when he wanted to. They were going to be done in 01 or whatever, and they couldn't end in 01.
And it all stems back to his ego and the fact that he can't fucking sing.
Well, but that, and obviously as time progressed, it got worse. So the whole thing, COVID fucked up that. I mean, granted, it would have been the same thing, but it made it worse because they really lacked energy in the ability to give a fuck.
Listen to what Tom Selleck had just described seeing Black Sabbath.
He was there. He went to the UK to see it in person.
We were there too in New York. We talk about how much fun we had and everything.
Not the show.
What about the people leaving that Aussie Black Sabbath event?
Yeah.
I've yet to hear anybody bitch about anything.
It was the exact opposite.
right? Now compare that to everybody walking out of the Kiss. I mean, literally, you must be in the 10% that walked out of that being like, that was good.
One of the funniest moments of that entire weekend was walking out of Madison Square Garden, meeting up on the corner and looking at each other, just being like,
and everybody going, what the fuck was that?
What the fuck? And then the other thing is, what is that gold bar you have? Where did you get that from? Who's that for?
Yeah, just a fucking disaster.
It was bad. It was bad.
All right. Over on Loudcasters. Mike Murphy says, I agree with everything on this episode, but after seeing how amazing the Black Sabbath farewell was, I would not be surprised if in a year or two that Kiss has something like this. I mean, it certainly won't be for charity, which I think the Aussie thing broke the record for the biggest charitable concert event of all time.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Good for them.
That's for sure. But you guys mentioned the bands and artists that would be in their second if asked. I can definitely see it happening. Mm-hmm. Agreed. I don't know why they can't do it in 2 years. They certainly could do it in 2 years from now. Same thing.
I'll be honest. I don't think Kiss knows how to do anything anymore. Perfect example.
They don't want to do this.
Well, no. But the Vegas event proves that they still care a little bit, because if they didn't care at all, the Vegas thing would have remained as is. So then,
Tom, I'm sorry, I disagree. I just think there's a certain level of effort they're going to do. That's a fucking no-brainer for them. That's easy. What do you think it's in Vegas? Because they could have fucking done that thing in Nashville, Florida, New York City, because they live out there. That's why they fucking did in Vegas. Where do they get to enjoy Vegas?
Yeah, but they changed the event because they realized it was a clusterfuck. If they really didn't give two fucks.
No. It got booked in Vegas. It was Vegas.
I'm talking about the title of the event and the actual event itself.
We're talking past each other. I am saying Kiss, you say, well, they put this event together. This event is half-ass. This doesn't require much work from Gene and Paul.
No, you're not listening to me. I'm saying that they care a little bit enough. If they didn't give a fuck at all, Vegas would have still been Kiss Army Storms Vegas with a cover band and Tommy Thayer, and that's it. They stepped in and said, this sucks. We need to fix it.
Yeah, we were talking past each other. I didn't hear that last part, what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, all I'm saying is these are fucking easy events for Gene and Paul and them. All right, we're going to do it. Yeah. Do it in Vegas. We're there anyways. We live out there. So yeah, that'll be easy. I don't give a fuck. They're not doing anything big or grandiose. Let the big boys show you. The balls that they had when they started the fucking reunion tour and shit like that. They ain't doing it for this. They don't want to.
Because they're surrounded by yes men and internet advisors. I love how the vitriol carries over from one episode to the other.
All right, Michael Jude Grimes, that owns Grimes in Nashville, the famous one there. This episode is certain to deter additional ticket sales as you guys are spewing the truth and why we love you. Wait, how about just added a rare appearance Q&A with Tom and Zeus from Shout Out Loudcast podcast. Ticks will go through the fucking roof. Yeah, that ain't happening, and no tickets go through the roof because of that. Appreciate the sentiments, Mike, but look, the honesty that we have here is just, what can I say? It's not, you're not going to be getting it from most shows, especially not the footy pajama. Everything is fucking glorious shit.
No, not at all.
Make sure you get your coloring books.
Mm-hmm.
The great Jason Warding, great points as always, fellas. Heard Tom Morello on Eddie Trunk show, and he was the architect of the Sabbath show. Kiss missed the boat. Imagine the show Tom would have set up for them. In this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction speech for Kiss is any indication, Gene and Paul really missed out, and so did we, the fans. Exactly.
So hard to be a fucking Kiss fan. We say it all the time. It's awful.
No, exactly. Jody Harriman says, fuck those kids. Absolute gold. I think that was you, Tom.
Yeah.
Rodrigo Lombo says, it's like comparing Rosie O'Donnell to Margaret Robbie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a tough comparison there. Yikes.
The great John Whiteman. The Black Sabbath event definitely outshone and outclassed Kiss' final show and is a good example of why Sabbath is held in higher regard. Kiss could still redeem themselves with the upcoming event, but they need to try harder than they are. Thinking outside the box there, but maybe move the cruise to an actual fucking freaking ship, or set aside the difference for the sake of the band's legacy and involve the other two founding members. Maybe they could change up their band member experience, and Chef Paul could sit this one out. Instead, we'll get a callback to the beginning of the band with Paul throwing change into the street while Gene runs out to pick it up.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was bad.
I threw pennies into the street in Chinatown because I knew he would run out and retrieve them. I used to just stand on the curb and fling them, and he would run into the gutter to get the coins.
For an additional fee, guests could help Paul throw change or drive vehicles that tried to run Gene over like Frogger. Just a quick thought here for a second, though.
Yep.
Why the fuck would Paul put that in the book? That is so petty and so not necessary.
First of all, not only is it petty and not necessary, it is downright nasty and vicious. I mean, you can't get more personal.
It perpetuates a fucking stereotype.
Right. It's brutal.
Why the fuck would you do that?
I don't understand how Gene I don't understand how Gene read that or heard that and was like, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem with this guy."
Because Gene puts everything in perspective. It's not going to be good for business if I fight with Paul.
Yeah,
but like, why would you say that? It's so insulting.
Because Paul's nasty. Paul's a nasty fucking guy. He just is.
Tom Selleck again puts photos up of himself and his wife at the event. Neil Hansen, who the fuck are the Kiss tards that voted the final Kiss show was better than Back to the Beginning?
He's right.
There's a few of them.
So true.
Daniel Hollow Houston, great episode. My friend from middle school was at the Sabbath event and was texting me as the show happened. He said it sounded amazing in the stadium. The pay-per-view experience was also pretty awesome. Kiss could learn a thing or two, but rest assured they won't. Why? Because fuck them. And a charity event? Fuck those kids.
That's so sad but true.
Denise Sorelli says, comparing the Black Sabbath event to the final show is like comparing Shout It Out Loudcast to those footy pajama podcasts, except the footy pajama people's avatars would be of dorks with dad jokes and coloring books.
Oh, Jesus. Yikes.
I think she's a fucking AI version of our fucking group here.
I love it.
Frank Anzalone. Well done, fellas. You nailed it and we're spot on. I think most of us are in the same boat. Since we've already paid for this beast, we're going to make the best of it, and these additions do make it somewhat better. I guess the thing that chaps my ass the most is no food or drink included, and they're calling it a Kiss cruise. Personally, I think the addition of Quiet Riot is going to push this thing into a sellout now. I look forward to everyone seeing Johnny Coolball's collection of Kiss-colored plastic straws. That shit's going to be lit. He fucking took the Johnny Coolballs line. Well done, Frank.
And he brings up a great point about the cruise with the food and the drink. Yeah, there's nothing included here. Nothing.
Should have just had a fucking cruise.
I don't know why they did it. They're going to do it. I guarantee you they're going to do it next year. But anyways.
Gordon Duncan, maybe it's time to say it. Kiss are not marketing geniuses. Bill Aucoin was.
Yep.
Doc McGee is sometimes. Heck, Hello Kitty is. But Paul and Gene have no freaking clue.
Nope.
Listen to Shout Out Loudcast alone would be enough to help those guys make millions of dollars and give the fans what they want. Dubai sucked. MSG sucked. Where the hell is that CD DVD? This is the lowest hanging fruit ever. Vegas looks better, but it still feels a little too late. I love the band. I read whatever book they put out, but whatever marketing acumen they've had is gone in my books. Tough, Poison, 200 Stab Wounds have better marketing sense at this point. Time for me to join Angry Bruce. Well said, Gordon.
It's a great point. And people don't talk enough. Forget about the Dubai, the debacle with the merch. Just the event itself, like that was, do they think, well, actually they do think, that whole thing was just a paid advertisement for that hotel in Dubai. What, everybody's like, oh, they went to Dubai because of COVID. No, they didn't. Paul goes to Dubai every fucking 6 months and posts about it. The whole thing is it's a paid advertisement for Dubai.
Yeah, where is the shtick for them? Like, where's the payoff for them?
Of course.
Right? We got some great comments here from Lana Cooper, Hall of Famer Joey Romanek, and Josh Brown. But my friends, they're way too long.
Tons of great stuff. Yep.
All right, let's go over to YouTube. Titiana Bell 6680. Ashamed of being a Kiss fan. That's how I felt after the Kiss concert in New York. Thank you, Paul and Gene. Seriously, how many of us felt like we had the ball taken away from us like Charlie Brown? They did it to us again.
Yeah.
Right? How many of us? Do you think anybody walked out of that Back to the Beginning feeling like, not just like, the concert was okay, the songs were, but that at least Black Sabbath and Ozzy try to do something for them, right?
Yep. They were blown away.
Nobody was walking out of that feeling ashamed or embarrassed to be a fan of those bands.
No.
Rich Charvel. Adding Peter as a special guest would be a great idea. His appearance would probably sell a lot of tickets, and if he had his own VIP Q&A autograph photo package, his new album should be up at that time. Perfect time to promote it. The fans would love it, which is exactly the reason why Paul and his big ego won't let it happen. No way will he let Peter steal the spotlight from him. Great episode. Very well said.
Dude, that's such a great point. And even the highlight of Peter releasing an album, you think Paul and Gene want to answer questions about why they're not releasing a new album? You're right. It's really insane the way that these guys think and behave.
And it's a good way to fucking bring Ace to the table.
Yep.
You bring Peter in. Why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Peter, this is a great opportunity. We're going to step aside, and then you almost hint that maybe he'll do one song with the band. And he comes up and he sings Beth.
Yep.
And you know how much goodwill? Like, you don't have enough fucking money. Overpay him to do that. Overpay him. You would get so many fans restore their faith in the band and the marketing. If they said, Peter, come promote your album, Q&As, do some fucking signings. Peter will make a killing. We'll overpay for you to come here. We'll treat you like a king, and you could do one song, sing Beth in front of everybody. How about that?
For somebody like Paul, who claims to be in therapy and be in therapy for quite a long time, a portion of his life, he needs a new therapist because the guy's pushing his mid-70s and he still holds grudges like a high school chick that's been dumped.
But don't you think like that would mean
fucking bullshit.
So much to the Kiss fans?
That's my point. Of course it makes perfect sense.
Such goodwill to make up for it.
But there is 0.0 chance or personal ability in Paul to do anything like. There is no goodwill. None.
I'm sorry we say it, it's a broken record. Why? Because fuck them.
That's it.
I'm not fucking doing it for the fans. I've lived my life. I've earned this right. I will choose what I want to be around.
I'll even go a step further. I'm not even sure it's about really fuck the fans. I think it's Paul just being fuck everybody.
I'm not going to let you rebuild your career.
I'm not letting you guys. This is what I want because I don't like Peter or I don't like Ace, so fuck him. It has nothing. It's his personal internal shit that he's dealing with. That's what I think, and it's really hard to say otherwise.
Stop doing that to me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, stop doing that to us, Paul.
Well, all right. Marty Martin says the sound bites are hilarious because they are put in at the right moments. Oh, thank you. Perfect timing for that.
Yeah,
shit.
right.
Oh, man. Daniel Farrell Music. Hey, guys, flapjacks. Been listening to you guys for about 2 months now. Been a long time listener of a podcast by the name of an Ace song from 1980. I enjoy it, but it's pretty PC and serious. You guys kill it with the laughter and honesty. Yes, the Sabbath Ozzy farewell made me so pissed at Kiss once again for how poorly they handled all of it. Hopefully, if Kiss would have been more proactive and done their farewell show for charity, Ace's accountant could have educated him how he can write charity off his taxes. Shit, he may be playing overseas by now. Oh, well, it's a sad thing. I think Paul and Gene definitely stepped in the right time to rebrand and reiterate more of the intentions of how the Vegas event is going to go. Keep up the great work. I love from West Virginia. Not wrong turn territory.
Oh, yes, it is.
Man.
Great franchise. That's a great horror franchise. That's a great comment, too, by the way. Thank you for the kind words. Love it.
I was a blackout drunk.
Marty White says, if Scrappy Doo singer shows up, he better bring his laundry to fold during the show. There's nothing more rock and roll than that. Jesus, tell us how you really feel, brother.
Love it.
Frank 684. Honest question, not to Tom Zeus, but if you didn't spend money on the last Kiss show, why are you so mad? Be fair, I mostly only like 80s Kiss, so not a diehard, I guess. I'll answer it first, Tom. I would say because you could have had something spectacular, which you would have been able to buy on DVD and watch a little bit later on and see that they appreciated you and appreciated their legacy. You didn't get any of that stuff. So whether you're there or not there, you feel that. That's how I look at it. And we were there.
Yeah, I love this mentality, and I see this more and more about why do you care? Like that baffles me. Why do you care that I care? You just said that you're not a diehard and that you're an 80s fan, so that explains why you don't care. I'm a diehard since the age of 5. That's why I care.
I think I'm thinking that it was about a comment earlier. I think you did something, not on this show, but yeah. I think you showed me a screenshot. Somebody had written something like, "Well, why this?" And you're like, "Well, then why anything? Why are we on social media?"
Yeah, that happened too. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like people well, why do you care? Oh, okay, then don't buy it.
Why does your opinion matter?
Well, all right. Dude, why get out of bed in the morning then?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
It's a public social media post. I'm commenting on it. Oh, why do we care what you think?
I love that. I love that. But he explains it himself. He's not a diehard and he's an 80s Kiss fan. That's why he doesn't care. There you go. There's my answer about why I do.
Yeah, it's just there's way too many comments. I think there's got more comments on YouTube than anything.
Yeah, we still haven't even gotten to mine.
Yeah, take over because there's way too much stuff.
Yeah, I'll fly through these here. We got a couple on Spotify. Again, you can comment on Spotify, which is great. Our buddy Aura Zorba. Why not call it the official Kiss convention number 2, Electric Boogaloo? See, there you go. That's what real fans say. B. Peeves. Great episode. While I wasn't in the U.S. for the final shows, I did make the final Kiss cruise. So we have seen them execute an event excellently. To my dying day, I will never understand how they never paid homage to the musicians who helped keep the brand and band alive. It still feels like the ultimate fuck you to guys like Bruce who bled for the band. A simple 10-minute montage. People would have been happy. Yeah, we've talked about that. We've beaten that shit into the ground, but that's a great comment. A couple things on Instagram. The great Sharni Q. She makes incredible designs for Kiss, for everybody. Follow her on social media. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. Great stuff. She says, as the biggest Kiss fan and someone who went to the Sabbath concert, I wish Kiss had done what Ozzy did. But I don't think the egos would have allowed any band to take the shine from Kiss, unfortunately. And then she says, it's sad, really, because bands would have showed up for them. Probably a lot of bands we did for Ozzy. And they only played 4 songs, the original 4, but it was so special. And then we commented, hey, yes, but at least people got Kiss transit cards in New York for the last show. She goes, I mean, I didn't go, but I still have one, and I did design the last tour shirt, which is pretty cool. Yes, she did. Again, check her out on social media. Northern Hayes says, honestly, no discussion to be had on this. Kiss sadly went out with barely a whimper compared to the grand event that we just witnessed last weekend. And that's a lot of people just saying no comparison, et cetera, et cetera. Let's look at a couple emails here. Michael Terry, listen to this episode occur to me that there are 4 reasons that Kiss could never consider bowing out the way Sabbath have. Number 1, money. Yeah. Number 2, ego. Number 3, health. Number 4, I think more bands relate to Sabbath than Kiss. I don't necessarily know about that, Michael. I'm not saying that Sabbath is better than Kiss, but every friggin' guy on that stage had a Kiss poster in their room and a Kiss record when they were little. So I don't know about that, but I understand your point. A buddy, Mike H. Remember that VH1 Honors thing they did years ago with Kiss? Rob Zombie and others played with Ace, and then Kiss did a set. Yeah, actually, that was a killer event. That went well, and they could have done something like that, but bigger. Or this landlocked Kiss cruise thing in Vegas could have been something like that. Just a thought. Yeah, that was actually a cool event back when Kiss gave a fuck. Matt Murphy, fantastic episode. I have to express my concern that Tom did not get Zeus's biblical reference about cutting the baby in half. Jesus Christ. You made some fantastic points about how Sabbath did it right and Kiss did it wrong. Kiss may have made more money, but Sabbath are credited with creating a whole genre of music. So I think people respect them a lot more. Even the critics respect their legacy. You could really do some interesting comparisons with post-Aussie Sabbath and the final lineup of Kiss. Also, kudos to Mr. Wes Beach, who made some excellent observations about Bruce. Anyway, dudes, have a great rest of the summer. Thank you, Matt. Good stuff. And we're going to finish up feedback here with a DM that we received on Instagram from a gentleman by the name of Mick Porter. Gentlemen, another stellar episode, and the difference between the two farewell shows is staggering. Could Kiss have pulled off the same farewell that Sabbath did? Pardon my French, but no fucking way. In 3 words, why? Paul's fragile ego. The fact that they promised guests and extras and just delivered another end-of-the-road tour show with no surprises, no extras, tells you everything you need to know. Sabbath brought in special guests, donated money to charity, and reunited the band to deliver something truly special and unique, giving the fans more than they expected and sending them off happy. By contrast, Kiss gave the fans the same old shit, broken promises, and left them leaving wondering what the hell just happened. The whole thing was just a colossal money grab to pad Gene and Paul's retirement fund. Overpriced t-shirts, a high-priced golden ticket that gets you nothing, and a commercial for avatars that is still 2 years out. No Ace, no Peter, not even Bruce. Sad and disappointing. And why I have no interest in the ridiculously named Landlocked in Vegas event. Gimme a break. Rock on, boys. Mick, great stuff. I mean, you just absolutely solidified every comment in a nice, tight paragraph there, my friend. And for that, you are the comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I know what you think. We're going to be watching you.
I believe Mick is the alias of Wes Beach.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Shit.
That's why he signs it as Wes. I thought.
Yeah. Fuck. That's okay. It's fun.
So, anyway, that being the case, Tom, let's switch it over and give a thanks out to our Patreon family. Patreon is where you can become a member and support the show. There are 4 different tiers. The first one starting as low as $3. And with that, you get different perks, whether it be merch, whether it be polls, involvement in the show, our video chats, and we got one coming up real soon. And in addition to the album review crew pick from Patreon, there's so much more. But you subscribe and you go to our website at shoutitoutloudcast.com.
Go to him.
Right on the website there, you'll see the link to Patreon. 4 different tiers. Pick the one that suits your needs and help the show. That's what it's there for. And we appreciate you guys. You guys have been an integral part of the growth of Shout It Out Loudcast. We love our Patreon family, and that word is there for a reason. It's like family. We love you guys and appreciate your support. And if you're out there listening and thinking about it, come join the family and come join the fun. Patreon, and go right to the website and you'll become a member. Thank you.
Patreon, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for everything you do. We always say it every week, and it keeps growing and getting more exciting, offering different kinds of merch and perks, etc. As Zeus mentioned, our album review crew. I have the July pick coming up soon. Zeus has August, and then we're back to Patreon in September. So jump on board so you can be a part of that. Check us out, patreon.com, or click on the link right at shoutitoutloudcast.com.
And Tom, we're going over to Kiss World. What do we got?
Yeah, so everybody was kind of talking about the appearance by Eddie Kramer on Twisted Sister guitarist JJ French has a podcast called the JJ French Connection. And Eddie Kramer was on there and talking about the Kiss Alive box set that we all know about. So he had a couple things to say that got people kind of excited. He says, it's a project I spent 46 days mixing. It's called Kiss Alive 50, which is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Alive album, the first Alive album, which was mixed at Electric Lady Studios. Fortunately, they found all of the bloody tapes, thank God. It was incredible. Jeff Fiora at Universal, he came up with the tapes and found them. So we spent all this time restoring them, transferring them, and then I mixed every single show that actually contributed to the final one, plus all the rehearsals that Gene and Paul did, and said, we got to record in the afternoon, which they did. Thank God, because we were able to capture some fantastic performances. What you hear during this period is that those guys were serious about getting this record out and making it sound fantastic. It's a beautiful package that's coming out late fall. Now, we knew this was coming out. We just didn't know the details of it. But for me, as a Kiss tard, I think it's pretty fucking awesome that Eddie Kramer's directly involved in this box set, because now I don't know what that means, because I am a vinyl tard, and there's tons of stuff from this tour. There's actually a bootleg out there called Kiss Alive, The Outtakes, which is kind of like a little bit of a raw, almost like rehearsal type performance. There's a ton of stuff out there from this tour. So having Eddie Kramer involved is going to be great. So, I mean, I was excited about it before Zeus, but having him be a part of it should be a little bit more exciting, I hope.
Yeah, the greatest Kiss live album of all time, getting the 50 anniversary treatment. What can go wrong?
Well, you said greatest. You meant second greatest. Actually, third greatest according to my rankings, but that's okay.
You mean fourth? Ace Frehley playing Revere Beach 1994. That's a
Frehley's Comet Live +1. Whatever the hell that thing's. There's a live version of Stranger in a Strange Land, or whatever the hell that song is called. Other than that, not much going on in Kiss World. You know, more people just getting all their panties in a bunch about the Vegas thing. So,
yeah, and then Bruce put out a new guitar. Bruce is doing his thing. I like
Asylum.
that Asylum guitar and stuff.
Yep.
It looks pretty good. And something happened with your Asylum album that you got.
Oh yeah. So for the vinyl geeks out there, I put a video up just because I thought people would get a kick out of it. So if you're a vinyl geek like me, there's an app out there called Discogs that allows you to catalog all of your vinyl, and you can do like manual entry, or there's a barcode scanner on the thing. And that's what I usually do. Now, I know that the albums are brand new, so usually if you scan the barcode and it hasn't been entered into the system yet, you'll just get a message saying can't be found. This time, I scanned the picture disc, and Mark Will's greatest hits came up when I scanned the barcode. So I don't know if that's a Discogs problem or a friggin' Kiss Online packaging quality control problem. Just
Heavy Mayo live in Mansfield came up.
Exactly. That was pretty funny. But yeah, well, good stuff. It's always fun being a Kiss fan.
Hey, before we move on, I just want to let people know our project that we've been talking about in the past.
Yes.
I appreciate it. We gave our Patreon members first dibs on it. Anybody else, there's only a few spots left. Probably by the time this goes out, it will be filled up. But if anybody's interested in filling out something for us and let us know, email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, and just say you're interested in helping us out with the project, and we'll email you something. And we'll go from there. But thank you for all those that participated. And of course, these are just some of the perks that you get at Patreon, and they're going to be part of it. First dibs. And anyway, if anybody's interested, let us know.
Yeah, trust us. You want to be a part of this. Believe me, the finished product's going to be quite awesome as usual with Shout It Out Loudcast.
Yeah. And by the way, whoever the person is that keeps track of first time things.
Oh, God, that guy.
He was doing it again.
I saw it.
First time, the I Want You story. First time, something else. You got to email us and let us know who you are.
We have to give you proper credit. I think he commented recently, first time we did feedback.
Yeah.
Like the first time we introduced feedback.
Probably like what is the modern feedback that we do, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Amazing shit. I love that.
Yeah. And another big shout out I want to give to our buddy Daryl Alber, who's killing it with our video shorts and setting that up. I hope you guys are enjoying those. They've really become quite popular. So thank you to that, and thank you to everybody else. But in the meantime, before we get started,
stop. Don't talk anymore. Yeah, I've been looking at the. Hello?
That is like a
you guys can see
that's
this
like
video.
that's like a knee-jerk react. I can't not laugh at that. It's like breathing. I can't not laugh at that. Oh,
and it's like hello. Oh, and we're probably going to end up seeing Eddie this weekend, Eddie Trunk. There's the Hair Fest thing going on in Webster, Mass. And then we're going to catch up with him and go see our buddy Steve Brown and PJ Farley, Tricksters, performing at Rascals in Worcester this Saturday night. So if you played this on Saturday, which is the first day this comes out, and you're in the area, come meet us. We'll be in Worcester, and we'll also try to catch that Hair Fest place in Webster, Mass. But we'll definitely be at Rascals. So, anyways, back to our regular program, Tom. We did most important KISS member, but there are other important people in KISS's career. And we're like, okay, let's come up with a list. And we can have a hard time. I had a hard time trimming this down.
I had a hard time ranking them. Put it that way. I kind of I solidified. Yeah, I solidified my list. I mean, the top of my list was pretty easy, but then I was really kind of putting on the KISS hard hat and kind of micro-analyzing, like, well, this and that. What's more important? So, I mean, either way, they're all important in their own way. They're all massive contributors to KISS. So,
I think I went first last time, Tom. Why don't you go first? Who's the most important non-KISS member to KISS?
All right. So starting at number 10 for me, I don't think you can have a list without this gentleman here, and I'm going with Anton Fig at number 10. I don't know if you'll have him, if you have him higher, but yep.
I have him at 10.
There you go. So let's talk. Perfect. So let's talk about him. Yeah, I mean, he stepped in on Dynasty, did an incredible job. He drummed on Ace's solo album, which was out of this world. Just a massive contributor to the band. People love him. People wanted us to include him in last week's or the previous member episode, but obviously he's not an official member. So yeah, Anton Fig, massive part of history and his contributions, especially in that era.
He played on more albums than one of the actual KISS members played on.
Yeah, imagine.
So he has to be an important member. That's why he's top 10. Now, I will be honest with you. I think he's vastly overrated.
I do too. That's why I put him at 10.
I mean, no offense. I've never heard anybody say anything about Dynasty's drumming, or definitely Unmasked's drumming.
The only thing you really talk about is his drumming on Ace's album.
Yeah. Right. And so I think it's important because he played on 2 albums, 3 technically, if you go on to the Ace solo album, and possibly 4 if rumors are true about Alive 4.
Alive 4, right?
You can't deny that, and he's part of history, and so I think he's an important member. Yeah. Non-member.
Non-member. Yeah. Okay. Number 9 for me, I'm gonna zag a little bit. Well, maybe it's not a zag. You might have him on your list, but because of KISS's visual aspect to their band, at number 9, I have Ken Kelly. I have the artist behind Destroyer and Love Gun. And the reason I picked him was because those are arguably 2 of the most iconic KISS albums, covers that people talk about. Even if they're not their favorite albums, they're undeniable. Plus, Destroyer is the first KISS album that didn't feature a photograph of the band, right? All the other previous albums had cool covers, but this was like the larger-than-life comic book superhero, the burned out, destroyed city in the background, those costumes, Gene's fist pump, just really set them to the next level and got merchandising kind of kick-started too. And then, the next level with Love Gun too, just looking up there like kings on an altar. So I think because KISS was so visual, I think Ken Kelly was kind of huge for them.
So I will tell you this. I'm not going to say whether he's on my list or not.
Yep.
I agree with you. He took the black and white scary KISS and made them superheroes.
Exactly.
And gave them character, bright colors, live, like in your face. Those covers are iconic and part of KISS. You see that in the background of a movie, or you see that in someone's house, or someone's scrolling through, at a record store, and you can see that in the background. Those covers. Okay, they just stick out. It's something about it, and it was his drawing. So I'll give you that credit.
Yeah.
All right, number 9 for me, Tom. I'm going to go Michael James Jackson.
Nice. I like that one.
So basically, he produces Creatures of the Night with the iconic drum sound, which I absolutely love. But more importantly, because that didn't do much for the band, he gets Lick It Up.
Yes.
That is the comeback album for the band, and he nails it.
Yep.
Technically, you can say he started the trend when he did the songs from Killers. He produced the 4 new tracks on Killers. So you got that. And then also he started, I think he only got through some of the drum parts of Animalize. He was going to be part of it. And then Paul took over and fucked it up. But Michael James Jackson, I think his one of the top 3 producers, definitely, but maybe top 2. I don't know. It depends on your way you see things. I love it. And I love the albums that he touched and the songs that he touched with Kiss. I think he's vital to their comeback and resurgence.
Yeah, in terms of their comeback and making that band thick and heavy and kind of a little dangerous after that, that era previously. Yeah, definitely agreed. Would have liked to have seen what he could have continued to do more with that band.
Just think about what he got. He came into it.
Right.
Dynasty, Unmasked, The Elder.
Right.
And then look what got them back to. Songs on Killers, Creatures of the Night.
It's not even necessarily the songs which are heavy and good. It's like you said, it's the sound. He gave the band their sound back. He made them heavy again. Yeah, great
albums on those songs that he did. So, anyway,
great
that's
pick.
my number 9.
Okay, my number 8, and this is where my list got tricky with rankings. I don't know. I mean, all these guys, in my opinion, belong on this list. But for number 8, I got Bob Kulick. You could put him way high.
Number 8 too. Go ahead.
Oh, perfect. So then we can have a conversation about him then, like we always do. Bob Kulick, look, we've talked about him. We've praised him. We were lucky enough to have Bruce on here and do an entire episode just on Bob Kulick songs, from the Paul Stanley solo album to the songs on Alive 2 to just his other contributions. Just incredible stuff. I mean, Paul Stanley solo album is one of my all-time favorite Kiss albums. Bob's a huge part of that. Just incredible stuff. And, we got to honor his memory. And I feel like in Kiss world, people just don't talk about him enough. I know people like we do, because all we do is talk Kiss. But there's a lot of people out there in Kiss world that either don't know who he is or just don't give him kind of the credit he deserves as a massive contributor.
How about the non-musical aspect of his contribution? He introduced Bruce to the band.
Good point. Yep.
Right? That's another thing that he did, how important he was. Look, Bob was there from the beginning. He tried out, almost got the job.
Yep.
He filled in. He became buddies with Paul.
Yep.
How many demos did he work on and help them out with and stuff? Jumps in when you need him on a live and, a live 2 stuff. But to me, also part is that he's part of one of my top 5 favorite Kiss songs, and that's the Mr. Speed demo, which I fucking think is incredible.
Yep.
So Bob Kulick at number 8 makes sense.
Nice. Okay. All right. So that's both of our number 8. So number 7, I know you have him on your list. Maybe you have him in the same spot that I do. He could be higher because of his incredible amounts of contributions here. Number 7, I have Desmond Child.
Look.
No. Wow. See, we share a brain, which is scary. Yeah, I mean, where do you begin? Let's start with I Was Made for Loving You, which obviously, as Zeus mentioned earlier, check out our little snippets that we're putting out there, our clips. We have a clip of that, his discussion with I Was Made for Loving You, which, of course, whether you love it or hate it, their biggest song, arguably, on streaming.
Worldwide, it's their biggest song.
Worldwide, it's their biggest song, yeah. But then you look at go on his Wikipedia page, his contributions, 3 songs off of Animalize, 5 songs off of Asylum, 4 songs off of Crazy Nights, the 2 original tracks off of Smashes Thrashes, a couple songs off of Hot in the Shade, just incredible contributions. And if you're an 80s Kiss fan, like we certainly are, you got to love Desmond.
Okay, 2 big things. I Was Made for Loving You is huge on the band Kiss.
Yep.
And then Heaven's on Fire.
Yep.
Like that is I don't know, probably the most popular, maybe, non-makeup Kiss song.
I mean, that's a song that even people who don't like Kiss or don't know Kiss, that's an undeniable
So
song.
catchy.
Yeah, it's just the chorus. It's just an undeniable song. Yeah.
And then throughout the 80s, he was always there for them to help them anytime songwriting came around.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're going to just dismiss the 80s, I guess you would dismiss his importance, half of it, but you still can't take away the I Was Made for Loving You contribution and the other stuff that he's brought to the table. So, yeah, 7 for me, Desmond Child.
Okay. Number 6 for me, Bob Ezrin. We talk about producers a lot with Kiss. I know Zeus might have him a little higher than that, but that's okay. So Bob Ezrin here, obviously what he did for Destroyer and kind of tightened up the band and got them doing, whether or not you love the album or you think it's whatever. But he's involved in three very, very iconic albums for different reasons. Obviously Destroyer, then Music from the Elder, and then Revenge. And they all have massive places in history, love them or hate them. But Bob gave them what they needed for Destroyer. He turned that band into a behemoth. I mean, from Ken Kelly doing the artwork to Bob Ezrin producing the album. And he swung and missed on the Elder. I mean, maybe he didn't swing and miss for certain people. And then he came back with a vengeance, no pun intended, on Revenge. So I think Bob Ezrin's contributions as a whole, but specifically Destroyer, even though I'm not a huge fan of what he did per se, it's undeniable what he did for that band.
Yeah, I'll save my comments for later.
Okay.
Number 6 for me is Doc McGee.
Nice.
I feel that as the manager, he's had an important role since the reunion. So you go back and was that 96?
Yep, 96.
And all that. I think you can almost kind of give him, you kind of have to give him almost like break up his grade in half. He was a A+ for the first 10 years, maybe. I think he's like a C now. Sure, he's making the band money. He's getting there, this stuff. And I guess that's what his job is supposed to be. But for us as the fans, it's not that great. But, getting the reunion off, setting it up so it wasn't them playing clubs and something, making them come out as huge and telling everybody how big they were and then proving how big they were. He had the contacts, the concert venues. He knew what he was doing. He had a game plan, and it went to perfection in the beginning. His importance in the way that Kiss is now and the way that Gene and Paul can live their life, a lot of it is because of Doc.
Yeah. No, great call. Great call. All right, number 5 for me, I'm going to go to another producer. Could have put him way higher, but I won't. He's at 5, and that's Eddie Kramer.
That's my 5.
Perfect. So Eddie Kramer, from the demos back in 1973, 74, but primarily he's the man behind arguably my favorite Kiss albums. Okay, Alive 1, 2, and 3, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, Ace Frehley's solo album, a couple of Frehley's albums himself, and your favorite, Zeus, Anthrax Among the Living. We'll just talk about that. But Eddie Kramer, we previously mentioned him in feedback about his involvement in the 50th anniversary of Alive. I love his production, and that's kind of why I had the problem with Ezrin. I love the sound of Rock and Roll Over. I think Rock and Roll Over is my favorite sounding Kiss record, even if it's not my favorite Kiss record. But him producing those live albums, especially Alive 3, ooh, man, that's incredible. But the guy's a fucking genius, and Kiss was blessed to have worked with him, and everything he did, just every album that he did with them just became like legendary, iconic in their catalog.
Yeah, Tom, for me, Eddie Kramer Alive doesn't happen without him. Never mind the fact that he got them, helped sign them by doing the demos for them. But Alive ain't happening with Ezrin doing it. Alive ain't happening getting over with Ron Nevison doing it.
Right.
It happened because Eddie Kramer got the best out of them. How important is that? I mean, it's a chicken and the egg between that and Destroyer. Right? You go back and forth, like, which one really got him over? Well, would have Destroyer even mattered if Alive wasn't there first? Or if Destroyer didn't pick up where Alive left off and got to even greater heights, they just would have went back down to where they were before. Who knows?
That's kind of why I had Kramer one step ahead of Ezrin. I don't know if Destroyer happens without Alive. But again, who knows?
Yeah, you cannot underestimate the importance of what he did to make Alive the breakthrough album, and how important that is for Kiss's history. So,
Yep.
Number 4 to you.
All right, number 4 for me, I'm going to go back to the visual aspect of Kiss. And number 4 for me is the man responsible for the most iconic photos and posters in all of Kiss, and that is Barry Levine. There's a book out there that you can get called The Kiss Years. But if you're not familiar with Barry Levine's work, I'll tell you right now, he's the man responsible for the Alive 2 gatefold and that entire Alive 2 photo shoot. He is responsible for the Spirit of 76 poster. He is responsible for the Empire State Building poster. He is responsible for that legendary Love Gun session with that Mylar behind them. They brought him back for the photo session back in 96 when they had the reunion. Every legendary Kiss poster that you've ever seen that helped elevate this band from just a rock band to something that's in every kid's bedroom in the 70s. That's Barry Levine. He's behind all that. That Destroyer, that sparkle photo session of the band with the Destroyer costumes. Every classic picture was done by Barry Levine. And I think that is such a massive aspect of making that band shoot to the next level. And we still talk about those posters and those pictures now. So Barry Levine gets, and I'm a visual guy. I'm a poster guy. So
a couple posters.
I give Barry the kudos right there.
So I understand your pick. I'm just curious because I was like looking up. I don't know. I'm not the visual guy. I'm not. I know what I like when I see Kiss posters and ones I remembered. To me, the granddaddy of them all is the Spirit of 76.
Yep.
Just look at the social media when we put that up. I think it was shared over 1,000 times.
Exactly. And the Alive 2 gatefold.
Yeah. So I get that. I was like, but I don't know who's who and who took most of those photos. And then I was like, who's the most popular? I'm looking up on social media, not, using Chat GPT and all this stuff. And they were coming up with Finn Costello.
Finn Costello was huge for the Alive session, like that photo shoot for the Alive album cover. Yeah. Yep.
And Bob Gruen, too.
Bob Gruen. Yep.
So those two came up, and I'm like, between the three of them, I'm like, I think they kind of washed themselves out. That's how I looked at it.
I just think when you think of like
think of garbage, think of Akeem.
Well, between the Alive 2 gatefold, the Spirit of 76, and the Empire State Building, that's why I gave
subjective stuff. All subjective.
That's why I tipped it to Barry.
Yeah, you like that. I might like something else. Number 4 for me is the actual record company owner, and that is Neil Bogart. Would they have gotten as big as they did if it was Atlantic Records? I don't know. Would they have been promoted as uniquely as Neil did? He also produced Dress to Kill. I think he got the band. I think he was quirky enough that he made it fucking work. And I think Casablanca and Kiss were made for each other. I really do. I think just being him is the difference, like in them getting their start and giving them a chance and not being like, this fucking nonsense out of here. Because I'm sure somebody in our man may have brought Kiss to somebody, and a lot of the old cold fish might have been like, get this, we're not fucking doing this. But him giving them the shot, and a real shot, in making them the focal point and the star of Casablanca, I think is huge.
I have him a little bit higher, so we can continue the conversation in a few minutes, but yeah.
Okay. So number 3 to you.
No, number 3 for me is Sean Delaney. And that is because we did a great episode about him before. And he was kind of the guy that kind of kept the band in line, kind of got them doing choreography, that deuce dance, a lot of that stuff that still carried over 50 years later. He was kind of like the unofficial 5th member of Kiss. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe there's a Facebook page called Sean Delaney, the 5th member, or something along those lines. And was just instrumental in getting in the ears of those bands. Unlike some of the other names that I'm sure we'll mention as this continues, unlike Neil, what Sean did was just something unique that really, really cemented what Kiss became and the legacy of them as performers in their stage show. And, that gives all the credit to Sean Delaney, in my opinion.
Okay. So number 3 For me, the previously mentioned Bob Ezrin, I will just add that I believe if he didn't do what he did and fix Beth, Kiss would never be as big as they did. Never mind just the production that he did on Destroyer and the albums and the songs. That's the album that they played the most songs from in concert, and the album that people go to, and it's their biggest album. Okay. So the fact that he changed everything for Kiss when Beth became a big hit. And let's be honest, he took the body of a song and he molded it into what we know it is now.
Yep.
Never mind the fact that he got one of their best albums of all time in the 90s with Revenge.
Yep.
And showed that Kiss can still do it. And then I don't care if you don't like it. I like The Elder. I think it was adventurous, and obviously it has an important role for the band at some point because they tried to get out of their shadows and try to do something different and realize that's not us, and went back to the drawing board, and changed their whole attitude to the old Kiss and became all of a sudden heavy metal. So I just think Bob Ezrin's contributions to Kiss are off the charts, and Destroyer's impact and the songs that he helped create, because he didn't just produce the albums. He helped with those songs, and none of those songs would have been the same, because if you have the box set and you hear what's on there and then you hear what the final songs are, they got Ezrin written all over it.
Yep. Agreed. No, I hear you. Definitely. My number 2 for me is the previously mentioned Neil Bogart. I think there's very few people in history that's more important than him. You mentioned a lot of the key points there. One thing I wanted to mention was, if you can watch it without watching it through the lens of a Kiss-tard, the movie Spinning Gold is quite fun to watch. If you can kind of look at it, it's a fun movie and talks about Casablanca Records and Neil. And, that guy gave his heart and soul and pretty much put his life on the line for this band. And like Zeus mentioned, took a chance on a band where other people be like, what the fuck are these guys? What is this? And, obviously producing Dress to Kill, one of my Mount Rushmore Kiss albums, just instrumental in the formation of those. He's, a foundational member of Kiss, like Sean Delaney and those guys. So that's why I have him at number 2.
Yeah. Well, number 2 for me is Sean Delaney. So I put him a slightly above Ezra. There's so many things that are so small and subtle that he did in the early days of Kiss that is prevalent now to how we as fans perceive them when they first came out and how we perceive them now. And that is whether it's the makeup and the blood, all wearing dark, the way they dress, the way they dance on stage, what they do. He also helped write songs. He also produced for them, and like double platinum. And I will say this, the second, and he tried to do a solo career and do his own thing. The second he got away from Kiss is when it all blew up. 78, 79. Right after that, it was never the same. And they all respected him. He had a relationship with each and every one of them. Yep. And when they started pulling personalities and pulling bullshit, he would always straighten the shit out.
He had a way of dealing with those guys very uniquely. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great point that when he left, the band whether it's a coincidence or whether it's cause and effect, when he left. Yeah.
But he was the glue. Like he knew, he had everybody and he knew their personalities. Yeah. He knew how to play them off each other and get them together and to keep the band as a whole. And he knew what the significance of the band with this image and this attitude and how it could work. And sadly, as more and more time goes by, no one really advocates for his importance.
Never. He's another name that unless you're like us, people like Sean, who's Sean? What did he do? Which is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's get to the number 1, which we both have.
Yeah, we both have that. Yeah, and it's Bill Aucoin. I mean, there's no Kiss without Bill Aucoin, and it's impossible to state this guy's impact and what he did for the band. I mean, when you read the books, whether it's, Behind the Mask or whether it's any of these books, the Kiss and Sell books, any of these books, like these OG introductory Kiss books, and you read about what Bill Aucoin did, it's just, we wouldn't be here right now talking about Kiss if Bill Aucoin wasn't there. It's almost impossible. We haven't done an episode on Bill Aucoin, which we could in the future.
Yeah. No. Never mind the fact of the merch.
Mm-hmm.
The merch, the brilliant.
He was a TV guy. He was a visual TV entertainment guy.
The fact that he took a chance on this band.
Yep.
How about the fact that the band succeeded and toured and lived off his American Express?
I love that story.
How is that not important, right?
Yep.
Not like they wouldn't have been there without him.
Yep.
How many things did he do to make sure that this band got over?
You talk about believing in someone and championing someone and fighting for someone. Without Bill Aucoin, they would have been dead after that first album, probably. Any other producer or manager or whatever would have been like, nice try, guys.
When you want to buy like a 70s Kiss product and you want to find out that it's real, what is the name of that merchandise?
A coin. And if you go on eBay, it's funny because I'm a dork with that shit. If you go on eBay and you search Kiss a coin, that's a whole separate category of merch because it's the original 74 to 78 type classic merch. And if it says Kiss a coin on it, that's what everybody's looking for. Yeah, it's a great point.
Brilliant man. And unfortunately, again, although we have him as number one, still not given as much credit as he probably could be.
Right.
But I like your list. I want to say a couple things, though.
Go ahead.
People that didn't make our list.
Yeah, I was going to do the same.
Yeah, just a couple names. So like Howard Marks, there are other, Chris Lenton, there are other like Larry Mazar and things like that. There are other, how to say, managers and stuff. The two big ones are definitely Doc and Aucoin. So I wanted to get them on the list, and I wanted to split my list up. Joyce Biowitz too. That's another one.
I had all these names on my list.
I went with one. You're going to pick Bill over her. And then she's married to what's his name, Bogart afterwards. So I went with Bogart.
Right.
I had all those photographers cancel themselves out, and I'm glad you mentioned one.
Okay.
That I didn't. Same thing with, I had Ken Kelly too as well, and that's really what I had. Like, I'm not gonna. Now, I know we're Kiss tards, but I'm not putting Big John Hart. Like, there couldn't have been another big tough guy bodyguard for them. Like, come on. Or J.R. Smallins. I get that they did a lot behind the scenes and they were loyal and they were, he did the voice and the Kiss crew was incredible in the beginning.
You wanted the best, you got the best, all that stuff.
Like
the only other name that I'm going to throw out there, and again, this is pure Kiss tartary, and it falls under the visual aspect of it, is our Italian friend, the guy who was responsible for the artwork, the paintings of the 78 solo albums.
Yeah, but that falls in like, who's more popular, him or Ken Kelly? You're taking one. You're not taking two.
No. Well, hold on. By the way, his name is Eraldo Carregati. We got to give props to our Italian guy. The only reason I'm going to mention his name is because, in terms of merch, those, in my opinion, as a Kiss fan, are the most iconic individual images of each member. Not to mention that created the associated colors with each member. That gave Gene the red, Paul the purple, Peter the green, and Ace the blue. And I just think those images, whether they're on T-shirts, and I know those images were based off of the tour, the 77 Love Gun tour kind of photos. But I think those images, posters, T-shirts, like all different things, those images of those individual faces, to me, I think just became so iconic for us Kiss fans.
Yeah, Tom, I'm looking at your list.
Yep.
I believe you had Barry Levine and Ken Kelly as the two that I didn't have.
Yes.
I had Doc McGee and Michael James
Jackson. Yep.
So again, I think these are probably what most people we're gonna get hit with. What about fucking the guy, the painter from the End of the Road tour?
I can't believe you didn't have Dick Wagner who contributed on Destroyer or whatever.
Yeah, come on.
Right.
So throw it out. Tell us what you guys think.
Yeah.
I fucking love this discussion. I'll be
me
honest
too.
with you.
Well, yeah, because what do we always say, Zeus? We spend the first half of the show during feedback bitching about Kiss, and then when we get to our topic, we gush over how much we love them. So that's what I love about this. It's perfect.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
And more importantly, it's authentic.
Correct. 100%. Yep.
So anyway, Tom, let's go to this.
Hey, what is this? 20 fucking questions?
Question of the week. We love these fucking drops kill me. A question of the week. We love them all the time. This one comes via email from Brian Crizel, great contributor and supporter of the show.
Yes.
He says, guys, I was looking back at some old episodes, and the producers episode had me thinking of a big what if. After producing AC/DC for Those About to Rock, what if Kiss got Mutt Lange to produce The Elder? Mutt was on such a hot streak in that era. He had done Highway to Hell, Back in Black, Foreigner 4, High and Dry for Those About to Rock. Would a Mutt Lange produced record at that time be big enough to stop the unmasking and keep Ace? Great question, because everything Mutt Lange produced was fucking awesome.
If they scrapped The Elder, if they just did a rock album with him, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, that would have probably brought them back into the limelight. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's implying that Mutt could have produced The Elder, because Mutt would have been like, what the fuck is this? What am I doing? This ain't Back in Black. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's like getting Picasso to paint the fucking football field. Like, what are you wasting him on that fucking
exactly.
Shit? Right?
But I love Mutt Lange because those albums, the sound, the actual sound of the album, but then what he brought from those bands is just fucking next level.
One other thing, Mutt is from the Bob Ezrin form of producing. He helps with those songs.
Yep.
He's not just turning knobs.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. He's not just an engineer. He's actually getting in there. Yeah.
No. And I think he could have brought out some greatness in Kiss. That's a great what if.
So it is a great what if. And you wonder why Kiss, because, having Eddie Kramer and Bob Ezrin, you can't get much more legendary than those two guys. So.
And it could have been maybe a monetary thing, because I'm sure his asking price at that time.
Oh, yeah, because every album he made was multi-platinum.
Yeah,
so,
it could have been something like that.
Yeah, and they probably just told Bob Ezrin they just buy his Coke if he produced The Elder, so that's all they care about.
Exactly.
Good stuff, right. Brian. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Tom, where can people find us?
Yeah, our website's always the best place to go. Shoutitoutloudcast.com, newly revamped and cleaned up and nice and pretty for you. And right on there, that homepage is a link to our #1 Amazon best-selling book, Raise Your Glasses. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of that, if you can believe it. So please, if you haven't gotten that book, I don't know what you're waiting for, get on there. And then, of course, you can find all of our episodes. You can comment directly from the episodes, which is really cool. You can send us messages directly from there, which we get in the form of an email. Links to all of our social media, links to our merch, links to Patreon. It's all there. It's a great website. We work really hard to get that for you, the fans. And, of course, you can always email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. We love getting your emails, and we always like to remind people that even if we can't read all of your emails during feedback, trust us, we read every email that you send us. And that's also probably the best way to get your question of the week as part of the show, too. So continue doing that. And we always like to say that we're a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
Yeah, you can always DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, motherfucker. Check out our Spotify playlist that Tom sets up for us. And that's when you go to our profile, not the actual podcast. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which now we're dropping our shorts and videos. So these are
we're dropping our shorts? We're dropping our shorts on video?
That's what it is. Shorts and reels and stuff. And it's a different aspect of the podcast because you get to see our reaction and the guests and them talking and stuff. So it's a lot of fun, and it's really promoting our YouTube channel. So please go there and subscribe, like, follow, all that above for YouTube. And then go and give us a 5-star child review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can give a review. We appreciate those, and those are fantastic, and they help us out. Go to Amazon and give us a 5-star review on our book. Raise your glasses, Tom. I can't believe you're right. It's 1 year almost.
It's crazy.
It'll be soon enough. There'll be another one. So just stay tuned, people.
Yep.
And you can always go to our website, shoutoutloudcast.com, shoutoutloudcast.com. And we always end on famous last words. Tom, do you have any?
Oh, I do. Are you ready to rock? I'm talking about satisfaction. So let's cut the talk, and get on with the action. Okay, Paul. All right.
She thinks she's high fashion. She thinks she looks divine. And that's what I keep telling her. I tell her all the time.
Nice.
Loudcasters, Tom, Kiss Army, thank you.
Loudcasters, everybody, you guys rock. Can't wait to hear your lists here. And if there's anybody we missed, I'm sure we'll hear it. Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Hit the music. What I'd like now is for all you fat, out-of-shape, worldwide kiss-tards to keep the noise down while I show your ladies what a real sexy man looks like.
Listen, all you people out there sitting on rented furniture, settle down.
Cut the music. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?